Hey everyone, have you ever thought about how life on Earth came to be so diverse? From tiny bugs to towering trees, and from fish in the ocean to us humans, it's all connected through a fascinating process called evolution. But what exactly is evolution? Is it just a theory, or is there solid science behind it? Today, we're going to talk about what science really says about evolution, breaking it down into 10 simple points. By the end, you'll have a clearer picture of how life changes and why it's still happening today. Let's get started. 10. Evolution means change over time. At its most basic, evolution means change over time. This might seem like a simple idea, but it's really important to understand what that actually means. Evolution isn't about a sudden change or one big event that transforms a species overnight. Instead, it's a slow and steady process where small differences build up gradually across many generations. Think about your own family photo albums. If you look back several generations, you'd notice that people in your family don't look exactly the same as they do now. Maybe eye colors change, heights shift, or some other features vary a bit. Those differences didn't happen all at once, but slowly over time. Evolution works the same way, but on a much larger scale, across millions of years and whole species. These small changes come from variations in DNA, the instructions inside every living cell. Sometimes these variations help organisms survive better in their environment, like better camouflage or improved ability to find food. 9. Natural selection is the main mechanism. One of the most famous ideas linked to evolution is natural selection. Think of nature as a giant competition where food, shelter, and safety are limited. Animals and plants that have traits giving them an advantage are more likely to survive and have offspring. These useful traits get passed down, while less helpful traits may disappear over time. For example, if a certain type of beetle has a color that blends into the environment better, it's less likely to be eaten by predators. That beetle is more likely to survive, reproduce, and pass that camouflage trait to the next generation. Natural selection is the process that selects traits that help survival, shaping species gradually. 8. Evolution has no ultimate goal. A lot of people think evolution means things are always getting better or moving towards some perfect form. But that's not how evolution works. Evolution doesn't have a plan, a direction, or an end goal. It's not about making the best or most advanced creatures. Instead, evolution is about how well an organism fits its environment. Basically, how good it is at surviving and reproducing where it lives. What helps one species survive in one place might be completely useless in another. Take polar bears, for example. Their thick fur and fat help them stay warm in the freezing Arctic, but those same traits wouldn't help them survive in a hot desert. In fact, they'd probably make things worse. So, evolution isn't about perfection or progress. It's about practical adjustments that match the environment. It's like trying on clothes. You pick what works best for the weather you're in. Evolution is just nature's way of finding the best fit, not a perfect design. 7. All life shares a common ancestor. One of the most amazing things science tells us is that all life on Earth is connected through common ancestors. If you go back far enough in time, humans, trees, whales, and even tiny bacteria all came from the same ancient organism. Scientists call this the tree of life. By comparing DNA and fossils, researchers have built a huge family tree, showing how different groups of living things are related. This connection means that even though we seem very different, we share a deep biological history. It's like having a distant cousin you didn't know about, only in this case, that cousin lived millions of years ago. 6. Fossils help us understand evolution. Fossils are like windows into the past. They're the remains of plants and animals that lived long ago and got preserved in rocks. Studying fossils allows scientists to see how life has changed over millions of years. For example, fossils show us how early reptiles slowly changed into birds with feathers. They also reveal how ancient mammals evolved into many different species, including humans. Fossils help fill in the gaps in the story of life, proving that species today are connected to those long gone. Without fossils, we would only have guesses about how life evolved, but thanks to these preserved remains, we have clear evidence. 5. Evolution can happen. Quickly or slowly, many people think evolution is always a slow process, taking millions of years. While that's true in many cases, evolution can also happen pretty fast. When environments change rapidly, species may have to adapt quickly to survive. A good example is insects becoming resistant to pesticides. In just a few years, some insect populations developed resistance to chemicals designed to kill them. This is evolution happening in real time. So, evolution is flexible. It can be slow and steady, or quick and dramatic, depending on what's happening around the species. 4. Mutations are the source of new traits. Mutations are changes in DNA, the biological code that tells living things how to grow and function. These changes happen naturally when DNA is copied during reproduction. Most mutations don't do much, or might even be harmful. But some mutations introduce new traits that can be helpful or neutral. For example, a mutation might cause a bird to have a slightly longer beak, which could help it get food more easily. Those helpful mutations can then be passed down through generations. Without mutations, evolution wouldn't have new material to work with, so they are crucial for the diversity of life we see today. 3. Evolution explains the diversity of life. If you look around, you'll see millions of different kinds of plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms. Evolution explains how all this diversity came to be. Starting from simple life forms billions of years ago, small changes and natural selection led to the wide variety of species we have now. Each species is adapted to its own niche, the specific role it plays in its ecosystem. For example, the sharp teeth of a lion help it catch prey, while the long neck of a giraffe lets it reach leaves high in trees. This incredible variety is the result of countless evolutionary changes across time. 2. Humans are part of the evolutionary story. Sometimes people think humans are separate from evolution, but we're very much part of it. Humans evolved from earlier primates through the same process of small changes and natural selection. Fossils and genetic evidence show that our closest living relatives are chimpanzees, with whom we share a common ancestor that lived about 6 to 7 million years ago. Over time, our ancestors developed traits like walking on 2 legs, larger brains, and complex language. Understanding that humans are part of evolution helps us see our place in nature and connects us to the rest of life on Earth. 1. Evolution is ongoing. The final point is something many people forget. Evolution is still happening right now. It's not just something that happened long ago in the distant past. Changes in environments, climate, and human activity continue to shape how species evolve today. For example, animals living in cities have started to change in ways that help them survive among people. Some birds sing differently because of city noise, and some insects have adapted to new food sources. Even humans continue to evolve, although it's sometimes harder to notice because our societies and technologies affect how we live. Evolution is a continuous process, happening all around us. So, there you have it, 10 important things to know about evolution and what science really says. From tiny changes in DNA to the huge variety of life we see around us, evolution explains how life adapts and grows. It's not about a perfect plan or a goal, but about fitting in and surviving. And remember, evolution isn't just history, it's happening right now. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about science and nature,